everyone? Welcome to another episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go over all the news and pop culture goodies that happened this week. And also...
Are we saying goodies?
Goodies.
Okay.
Is that a song?
Apparently we are saying goodies.
Yes. And
Shout out to you, Ciara.
I'm hyped. We are 1 week away from AllCon.
Hey.
Woo!
I'm saying. That's the show.
We gonna get turned.
That's...
Yeet.
Throw up house.
That is what happens, yeah.
I'm ready to see a bunch of friends and play some Cards Against Humanity out in the hallways and attend massive amounts of panels. Yes, AllCon, the Crown Plaza, Addison. I'll bring up the dates. We'll go over.
I mean, it's the best place to go. We have AllCon.
We'll go over all the details later. Anyway, thank you all for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. I am Jason the X. That's Cass.
What's up?
And over there, Super Kick Party. That's old. That's the old stuff.
I know, man. I'm trying to get you. I'm literally on the ProWrestlingTees.com right now.
Why are you drinking on the job? Good lord. Anyway, there's
Cowboy shit, yo.
I don't know what that means.
It's a wrestling thing.
Okay.
A lot of people got it. You didn't. Sorry. And behind the board, making sure everything is working and turning knobs and making everything look pretty, it's Cora.
What up?
Looks like something.
I finally get to wear my Sailor Moon lip gloss now, and I feel pretty.
It looks good.
Oh, is that finally came in? I got retransformed.
Aw.
It's got a blonde wig.
No, it's got a lion head.
It's got a blonde wig.
It looks like what's his bucket from Pokemon Sun and Moon.
I might have a problem. Anyway.
You might.
Maybe small. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and kick it off with some super cool nerd news.
Hey, Jason, did you... Yes, it is. It's right there. XSplit does not seem to be responding to my clicks. I don't know why.
Your
entire face.
Are we locked?
Wait, I think I figured out the problem. We're good.
Oh, we got it.
We good.
We're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Now we're gonna kick it off. Kick it off again, Jason.
All right, let's kick it off with some super cool nerd news. All right, sadly, we do have to start off with some serious news. Okay, so the COVID-19 virus is still running rampant. This doesn't mean you should panic. This also doesn't mean that you should go that, oh, everything's okay. Just use precaution. And above all things, wash your damn hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Anyway, the coronavirus, which did begin in Wuhan, China, they've actually recently found out, well, besides the numbers, 97,000 people affected, probably killed about 3,000 people by now, a little bit over that. It's running rampant, just not rampant, but enough people have died. What they found out, there are actually two types to it, which is going to make things a little bit easier to figure out now. A type L, which is more common and was found in about 70% of the people out there, and a type S, which has been found in about 30% of the people out there. Of course, this disease does seem to be passing over children a lot, and it is affecting the older and elderly, so I should really be worried about this.
Yeah, you old man.
I know, right?
It knows you've been killing the earth.
Of course, we do have cases in the U.S., but above all, guys, just if you feel sick, go get checked out. Stay home. Wash your hands. Don't be part of the problem. But along with the coronavirus, it is affecting other markets out there. Of course, people are staying home, and one thing that we like to do is, well, we go to cons.
Yep.
We go to movies. Things like NJPW, they are canceling live shows. They're still filming, but people cannot come to the live show. The Arnold Classic has actually stopped their vendors, which they're going to broadcast. But that's a real tight space in there, by the way, so they're just trying to avoid a possible
spread of the
somebody
virus.
being careless and not washing their hands.
Like 2/3 of South by Southwest pulled out, including Netflix today.
Wow. Ooh.
Also, ECCC, a lot of the artists that were going to be in the Artist Alley pulled out over the health concerns. because they can't really afford to not to miss the rest of the cons for the con season. They can take one hit, they can't take all of those hits.
Of course, we would hate to miss out on those things, but it is in the interest of public health.
Yeah.
So let's all just be a little bit smarter and not freak out.
Yep.
Freaking out has never helped anybody.
Yep.
So speaking of public health, I mean the coronavirus is definitely affecting Hollywood already as well. I mean we've got all the cons, everything else, but MGM earlier this week pushed back No Time to Die until November of this year. The movie was set to premiere April 2nd in the UK and the international audience, and then it was April 10th for the US. But the new dates are now November 12th for the UK and the international audience, and November 25th for the US. Sources told the Hollywood Reporter, where I got my information from, that MGM will likely take a $30 million to $50 million hit by moving the film's release back by 7 months when the dust settles. Though this decision was largely based on the economic reality, the large swaths of theaters across the world have been shuttered in recent weeks, stretching from Japan to Italy. That could have resulted in a minimum of 30% shaved off the final box office totals, a possible $300 million out of a likely $1 billion global haul. So, relatively speaking, they said, hey, this will be the less hit we'll take than if we went ahead and went with the premiere. In China alone, some 70,000 theaters have been closed since January, with no plans to reopen anytime soon. Spectre made $84 million in the Middle Kingdom when that came out a couple years ago, roughly 10% of its $881 million worldwide income. Smaller Asian markets likewise are being impacted due to the virus, and there's concern that the outbreak in Italy could have spread across Europe. The UK, where the fictitious Bond originated and which appears vulnerable to theater closures, represents a huge slice of No Time to Die expected revenues since Spectre earned $125 million in the UK alone. So, yeah, that's been... no other movies have been really pushed back yet, but Bond's the first of the big ones. And, I mean, with what we got coming out...
I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more of this, but it is in the interest of public safety. I mean, like, there was a Kickstarter that Near and I donated to, and we were like, where are our figs? And then we checked the update. Oh, the factory shut down.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm surprised they haven't pushed Milan yet, and that movie...
it's already in the can, though. It's already ready to be released. It's a shame that it's not going to make.
I mean, ticket sales for Bond went on sale this week before they got pushed.
Well, I mean, you can easily push a date back. It's not worth people getting sick over. So what? Things will be quiet a little while.
Yeah,
that happens.
I'm okay with it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to get sick. I don't. Yeah. So
it gives me more time to play Doom that comes out on.
Yeah. But there is some good news in the movie world, though.
I don't know. Maybe I was too young the last time there was a major virus like this. This isn't normal.
It's
like,
never normal when something.
Well, I remember like a lot of people freaked out over like swine flu, but I don't think I was old enough to see the economic impacts. Like, I don't know.
Ebola.
Was that also Ebola, I guess.
That was more recent.
I don't remember theaters closing. I don't remember this level.
There's arguably been less of a response by the CDC that we've seen in the past as well. They tend not to. I wasn't going to drop the only F-bomb on the show. They tend not to mess around. It's on their badges. We tend not to mess around with this kind of stuff. And they, like with bird flu, we had 5 cases in the U.S. when it actually happened.
The numbers that are
the numbers are out. The numbers
down.
are alarming, and it should be treated a lot more seriously.
And I think a big part of it, though, is social media. Like 10 years ago when we had the swine flu, bird flu, all that kind of stuff, social media wasn't as big as it is now, and more information travels 10 times as fast as it was 10 years ago. So with more information getting out, it's I think it is it is very, devastating and all that. I think it and in some ways it's made to look way worse than it actually is.
And I don't even want to say that. I don't want to take anything away from this. We should take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because there are more cases than we've seen in the past. This was not locked down quick enough. It's something that can make you very sick, but as long as you get treatment and are smart about it, you'll be okay.
Like washing your hands.
And if you feel ill, stay home.
The only scary thing that's really come out of this is the amount of people that I now know didn't wash their hands before.
Now that I'm seeing all the soap aisles empty, and you're like, what were
Well,
you people doing?
It's not just that. Someone pointed out how there are lines to use the sink in the men's bathroom now. You know, kind of how like there are in the women's bathroom a lot of the time.
Always.
And then I just kind of sat there realizing, did men not wash their hands after they
Oh,
use
I'm
the
gonna tell
bathroom?
you right now, there are times
Oh.
I want to yell at complete strangers because I'll see them just like as I'm washing my hands completely pass by, and I just want to like go out, hey, that guy didn't wash his hands.
That is extremely rare in women's bathrooms. That
Yeah.
is extremely rare.
Okay, well I'm gonna tell you right now,
It's common in men's.
It's enough that it makes me want to yell to the high heavens when somebody does not wash their hands.
Thinking about it, like back when I worked in retail and fast food and stuff, whenever I had to do the men's bathroom versus the women's bathroom, I always had to refill the soap in the women's, but I didn't have to refill it as much in the men's, and I thought it was just because men didn't use the bathroom as much in public spaces as women do, which is also kind of true. But now I realize it's because they just weren't washing their damn hands.
I mean, having worked at a service industry movie theater, I mean, the number of times I saw servers not do that was actually, yeah. I mean, I always wash my hands, but
It takes
Yeah,
30 seconds.
Heaven forbid I know who you are and I see you do it because I'm gonna call you out.
Oh, yeah.
But on complete strangers, I have to like bite my tongue, like
I would
places I
encourage
work.
you, use your anger for good. Go ahead and yell at those men.
Yes.
It's like,
Also,
I might now.
Yeah, just start yelling at the men, maybe.
Also, it is important to note that antibacterial, like the hand sanitizer, does also work as well.
I thought it didn't because it was a virus.
No, there was a tweet that went around about that. A scientist debunked that, going, "No, it still does work.
Good.
It breaks down the outer layer of the virus like it does bacteria."
there was something that was debunked. You cannot use Tito's handmade vodka to help wash your hands.
Please, vodka.
There was a thing going around saying you can use Tito's vodka to help,
That's for drinking.
disinfect yourself. Like, no, it's
Anyway, we're not gonna fear Margaret too much, guys. Be smart about it. If you feel bad, go get checked. Wash your hands. Take care of yourself, and therefore you will take care of others.
In the words of Filbert from the wonderful world of Rocco's Modern Life, you turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, and then you wash your hands.
That's just a good
Thank
idea
you.
going into con season as well. Anyway, back to the movie news now.
I have.
Go ahead. Finish off your.
So we do have good news in Hollywood. I mean, at least it's good for me. We have a new Batmobile. Matt Reeves earlier this week tweeted 3 pictures, which we are showing you guys 2 of them. I don't know where they're over here. Nope. One picture, which is right over here, probably over Cass's head.
Halfway.
Halfway. It is the new Batmobile for Robert Pattinson's the Batman. Yes, I want to throw that in there. Look at that beauty. It is part muscle car. It is part Mad Max. It just looks amazing. I am so excited. It's just, oh.
Just admiring my own forearms.
Totally year one feel here on this Batmobile. It looks like a Challenger modified.
Oh, yes. And honestly, the little bits that Matt Reeves has been giving us just gets me more excited for this film. Just little by little, yes, I'm so excited.
I mean, what do we have to lose
Still
at this
so
point?
worried.
Why are you
What do we have
worried?
to lose at this point?
It's such a crappy idea.
It's
I don't
not.
know, just we're rebooting it again.
I believe in you, Robert Pattinson. I believe in you.
I mean, you can have an amazing Batman and still have a terrible Batman movie.
They rebooted Joker, so
Ben Affleck.
Hey,
was
Ben
an
Affleck was.
amazing Batman.
He didn't have
It's not a good movie.
He didn't have a Batman movie. That was a Batman and Superman movie. Superman was the one that made it shitty.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, never mind.
Oh man. Anyway, I like the new Batmobile. I do, and I have nothing to lose going to these movies. The bar is so low for me at this point. Just make 2. Just make 2 Batman movies, and I'll say it's a win for you. Make 2 Batman movies in this universe. Win. Just 2. Black Widow comes out in May.
Maybe.
I'm so tired.
is hard. Look, it's easy for me to make fun, but it is hard to be a DC EU fan right now.
It really is. And like I liked the last 5 movies, and it's still hard for me to be a DC fan.
But y'all got your Joker movie.
That was
Never mind. I
in the
liked
80s?
4 of the last 5.
You
got
got
your
your
Are
Joker
we
movie
counting
set in the
Joker?
80s.
yes, we are counting Joker.
I
That
liked
is
4 of the last.
that is a
5
DC film. That is an
movies.
Academy Award winning film with Joaquin Phoenix winning as
We're
Joker.
not- we're
Oh,
not-
and score. And score.
What else won?
Continuity.
What other DC movie might have won for music?
It did win for makeup.
Makeup. So are we saying Suicide Squad is good too? Because it's Oscar winning.
Yeah. I
So,
enjoyed Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, Joker.
Suicide Squad Joker. Because he
Nope.
got acting.
Well, I can't.
Both Oscars.
I say, but I enjoyed Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey was
I enjoyed
fun.
I enjoyed Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey,
There we go.
which is what they should have just titled this movie to begin with, because then I would have been okay with it.
Anyway,
But yeah, moving forward. Okay, Batman Batmobile looks great. I think.
it does.
Go ahead and finish off the movie news because I think
That's my movie news.
you got one.
I have one.
Go. I didn't write
It's
it.
an awesome one.
So in the 1990s, we were graced, blessed with a Mortal Kombat movie.
I love it.
Go on.
In all
did the
its
people see that?
glory. It was heartfelt. It was beautiful.
Hold up, I gotta get Jason's face.
We are getting another one. Produced by the one, the only, James Wan.
No.
Written by Greg Russo, who wrote a lot of the Mortal Kombat storylines.
I'm about to go through the Vince
Today.
McMahon meme here.
Today, there was a quote by Greg Russo. An aspirational quote. A very aspirational quote.
Ooh.
He said that this movie is going for, quote, to be as funny as Deadpool. With dramatic storylines.
Okay.
Could you have put more pressure on yourself
Wow.
to make a Mortal Kombat movie saying we're going to be as funny as Deadpool and we're going to be as heartfelt and we're going to have backstories and we're also going to be as funny as Deadpool? Could you have put more pressure on a movie that 10 to 1 odds at this point is going to be trash?
I mean,
It's James Wan though.
the
Mortal Kombat. Did
the
you
first
see
Mortal
the first
Kombat
one?
movie.
It's fun.
I love
It's such
that movie.
trash.
No, it's not trash.
It's trash.
That is a god.
Have you seen it within the past 5 years?
Yes.
No.
I saw
Yes.
it for the first time
Look,
last year.
Appreciate what
It's
New Line
awful.
Cinema put out. No, damn you.
It's so bad.
I love that. Mortal Kombat.
The guy with the thing coming out of his
Scorpion?
hand.
Scorpion,
Yes.
yeah. Get over here.
Ugh.
I love that movie. I'm going to make it a point to watch the original Mortal Kombat. You watch my social
The
media.
new one is going to be as funny as Deadpool,
I
but
don't
it's going to
know.
have complex backstories for why these characters are fighting. Good luck, man.
I feel like he has lofty aspirations, but
Good luck, man. Like I
funny
don't
is
know
not
what
the
to tell
first
you.
thing I think of when I think of Mortal
Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat is one of the most brutal
I mean,
games in the business.
The laughter I have when playing Mortal Kombat is clearly inappropriate. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, it's an incredibly dark series, and
Like,
the idea.
I
that-
broke that dude's orbital socket.
Yeah.
See, I shouldn't be laughing at that
The
thing, but I am.
idea that it's going to be very complex but also very funny is just
Ah.
good luck, man. I have no idea what you're going for, but like have fun, I guess.
Okay.
It's gonna be a fun time.
I'm in. I'm in for it.
Are you?
Yeah, you know what? It's James Wan. I trust James Wan. Like, yeah, just I'm in.
Go,
I'm in.
I'm kind of with Cass in this.
And
Go for
Russo.
it.
Nope. Yeah, Wan
Listen,
and
my
Russo.
God.
Gimme.
And I mean, I go to a monthly bad movie night, so I'm gonna see it one way or the other. Hey.
Oh boy.
If you thought,
Okay.
wait, hold on. But if you thought the original Mortal Kombat was bad, you should watch the second one.
Absolutely not.
It's, yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
That's my movie news.
All right, moving on to some games. Now we've talked a lot about Stadia here on the show, and their game. Well, they've actually got some. This is a quick story, but they've got some power behind that name now because Shannon Studstill, she worked for PlayStation for about 10 years. Worked on God of War at their Santa Monica studio, and is joining their team. This lady has got some cred behind her. It was a brief statement, but I know everybody's kind of like, Stadia's kind of not in the news. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Stadia. This right here, this is a big player joining their team. And I'm hoping that they're actually going to maybe do a little bit better on the marketing side on this. If there's anybody that, for 10 years in working for Sony, this lady knows how to get a product out there and at least get some eyes on it. So just a quick hit. This is brand new. This just happened. I bet we're going to see a lot more with Stadia coming here in the next few weeks or months or so. But yeah, they got some. What did Jeannie say in Aladdin? You got some power in your corner now.
Oh.
So yeah, Shannon, don't disappoint us. Show us what they got.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not against another game system hitting the market. If it's good, bring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Switching consoles for a minute.
okay.
Xbox Game Pass, which is absolutely worth it, actually.
I
started paying for it recently. It's absolutely worth it. But just a slight announcement if you weren't aware. March 11th.
Okay.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out. This is a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, which came out, I believe, 2015. It's a platform game featuring the cutest little light fairy. It's complicated, and you gain, it's like most platformers, you gain different abilities throughout the game, and I played it for the first time recently. It's an amazing, amazing game. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out before our next show. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Comes out this Wednesday.
We got some other gaming news. What you got there, Cora?
Alrighty. Ooh, I've got a couple of gaming news. No. Alright, so on the Square Enix page today, they released a gameplay trailer for their remake of Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana was a classic RPG game. If you haven't played any of the Mana games, I highly recommend them. Super cute, super great, A+. But with this gameplay trailer, we got to see some of their, how the combat's going to work, some of their abilities, party makeup. We got to see some of the world. It looks so good, guys. So pretty. I want this game. It's going to be coming out April 24th for the PlayStation 4, the Switch, and it will be on Steam as well.
Ooh.
So you don't have excuses. You should play this. I'm just saying. I may be biased because I like RPGs, but if you like classic RPGs...
You like RPGs? No.
Cover art's really cute.
Right?
It's very reminiscent of like mid to late 90s anime games.
That's around when some of these games were released.
Yeah.
I mean, it celebrated its 25th anniversary a few years ago.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the remake for
she hit a
Dragon
blank.
Quest. Sorry. Ooh.
You talk about my face upon hearing Mortal Kombat. Did you see when she lost
did.
that thought?
If you enjoyed the remake of Dragon Quest, you're going to absolutely love the remake for Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana. There we go.
Do you have another one?
I do. Also, in some remake news, if you go to the PlayStation Store right now, you will find that there is a demo for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I gotta say, I haven't played it myself, so I don't know how the combat actually feels per se, but I have watched some of the gameplay trailer. It is very beautiful. I'm still not convinced on some of their story changes, but that is me. I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer for people that are excited for the remake. But if we had this level of graphic with the story that we were originally promised, I'd be a lot more excited. I'm just saying.
I have avoided getting it because I'm sorry, don't give me that. Give me a taste until the real stuff comes out. I got Doom to worry about. I'm good. Yeah.
You know what?
Don't crack me out here.
I appreciate that they're doing a demo for this solely because I was not convinced before, and now I know for certain I'm not convinced. Like, I appreciate when there are demos out when I'm on the fence for a game, so especially something like this where there's a lot of nostalgia and there's a lot of love for a specific game and its story and its characters and all that stuff. I appreciate a demo for that kind of stuff. I'm not convinced, Square. Maybe not mess with the story that was complex in its own way by adding ghosts. Just saying.
I'm with you. I don't play demos a lot because I tend to dive pretty hard into games when I get into them.
And you're going to get that abrupt stop.
Exactly. So I don't play a lot of demos. I might play this one because Final Fantasy VII is the one that I skipped. I played 6, 8, 9, 10. So I've never actually played Final Fantasy VII. So I might actually really enjoy it. Because I don't have that very specific, this is what Final Fantasy VII is.
Right.
But I'm probably going to wait until, I don't know, 6 years from now when we have 2 discs.
Yeah.
Or 2 parts of it.
Still not happy about, we don't
Nobody
know.
is.
Well, I'm not happy about we don't know how many.
Yeah.
That's where I'm having problems.
Yeah.
Well, since we are talking about PlayStation, before we go to the break, it is the 20th anniversary of the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
wow.
Yes, 20 years PlayStation 2. Did everybody here play PlayStation 2?
I did.
Yes.
What was your first game on PlayStation 2?
Was 8? It was one of the Final Fantasies. It was either 8 or 9.
It was probably 8.
I think it was.
No.
I think 8 was 1, so I think 9 was 2.
I think so.
So
Okay,
probably
it's probably
Final
9.
Fantasy 9.
Okay.
But I played God of War most on it.
How about you? PlayStation 2 first game.
It was either WWE SmackDown or Jackson Daxter.
For you?
My first 2 games were Rayman and Kingdom Hearts 2. Also, PlayStation 2 was the first console I bought with my own money, and I still have that thing.
Oh.
My first was The Bouncer. I bought a PlayStation 2 just for that game.
Oh, no. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Hey,
I
That
played
was
it
the bomb.
so
They made a
much.
documentary
I
about
Yeah,
played
they
it
did.
so much.
Did you know there's an online game for Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and it's still played?
Are you
Awesome.
serious?
Yes.
I mean,
They
it's-
played it on Monster Factory.
Yes, that's
was-
why I
that
know.
was an awesome game. They made a documentary about this game. Anyway, guys out there, what was your first game on PlayStation 2? Let us know in the chat. We're going to take a short break and show you a short commercial for Nerds with Coffee. We'll be right back.
And for stopping by, for joining us for a cup of coffee. I'd like to thank you for stopping by and joining us for a cup of coffee. Other than that, thank you for stopping by for a cup of coffee with us, and thank you for joining us for a cup of coffee. Today we see if we are double jointed.
You see if you're I am an expert on Transformers.
Today we find out who knows burgers best.
Valentine's Day, created strictly pretty much for pop culture references. And do we know them all?
Today we're a group of guys that collect toys, but how well do we really know each other?
We'll be determining which one of these people knows me best.
That was deceiving.
They were not lying on the epic crunch part.
Yeah! I had a gun in my face by my landlord for thinking I was a male prostitute.
Never gonna give you up. Actually feels pretty good. I did
Getting a little
legs,
man-to-man stretching
I did
going on
legs
here.
the other day. But I am not done with you.
No.
I will defeat you.
There's bite it.
Jalapeno peppers. You gotta appreciate the quality in that.
No, stop.
This is great outtake material. Hey, we're we're back. Make sure you watch Nerds with...
Now we're back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little bit early. Jumped the gun. She didn't point.
Yeah,
to me. My bad.
you didn't point. Yeah.
You didn't point.
I'm pointing.
No
Do
one
the thing.
pointed.
No one
Maybe
pointed. I
maybe
shouldn't
you
have said
should wait
anything.
for the producer to point at things.
So, Nerds with Coffee every Monday and Friday. Check out those episodes. There will be a new episode. Pointing. Do we need a WrestleMania sign up here so y'all can point to it? I gave Ricardo a wrestling reference. What was I thinking? Anyway, just stop.
Okay, sorry.
We've been filming a lot of Nerds with Coffee episodes. Make sure you watch. We filmed them. Oh, God. It involved jalapenos.
Oh, no. No.
It's going to be
Did
great.
you put them in an orifice?
No, a mouth.
Okay. That's not what I was thinking of.
So anyway, we did miss one bit of
Thinking
movie news.
ear,
Please hurry and get this out so I can
Sorry,
get to
I am an idiot. I forgot this one because I was so excited about the Batmobile. Academy Award winner Taika Waititi has signed a 2-movie deal with Netflix to adapt Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and an original story based on the Oompa Loompas. Yes, you heard me right. An original story on the Oompa Loompas. Both movies.
One more time, I'm gonna slap you across the face.
Both movies will be animated, and Waititi will direct, write, and executive produce both the Charlie Chocolate Factory and the Oompa Loompas.
That's your third one. That's it. Okay. We're done with warnings.
Well, both projects. Finding just the right creative partner to bring Willy Wonka, Charlie, and the things to life in animation was a daunting task until Taika walked into the room, said Netflix Vice President of Original Animation, Melissa Cobb. Then it was really obvious. If Dahl had created a character of a filmmaker to adapt his work, I'm pretty sure he would have created Taika. Gideon Similoff, commercial and entertainment director for the Roald Dahl Story Company, said, in the words of Willy Wonka himself, "We are delighted, charmed, overjoyed with Taika's appointment on this project. There is something undeniably Wonka-esque about Taika's creative flair and inimitable sense of humor, and we cannot think of anyone more perfectly suited to leading the creative charge on these first of their kind feature quality Netflix shows." Now, this is the beginning of something bigger for Netflix and the Dahl company. They will be also adapting more of his stories, including Matilda, the BFG, and the Twits, and many others. So, yeah, this is a beginning for not only
They're
the...
adapting the BFG
Yeah, even though
Again?
Spielberg just came out with a film like
literally like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all, from what I'm guessing, they're all going to be animated,
You
and they're
said-
trying to...
You said this was new for Netflix. How is this new for Netflix?
Getting involved with the Roald Dahl,
Okay. Working
yeah.
with this specific
specific-
creative person. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
or in this case, I mean, he's no longer around, so it'd be
His company.
his company, yeah. So yeah, last bit of movie news on there. So sorry about that, guys. I got excited about the Batmobile.
Well, you did mention Netflix, and it does kind of lead us into a couple things. First of all, Cora, join me in this, please. Castlevania Season 3 today. Woo! All right, we're done. Into some more...
Stunning.
It's really
Into
pretty.
some more Netflix news. Lucifer Season 5 will be debuting soon on Netflix, and there has been talk of a Season 6. Well, that talk is turning out to be true because Tom Ellis has now negotiated his contract to return for Lucifer Season 6.
Woo!
And let's face it, he's the guy that the show is based around. His contract gets worked in first.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this. I love this show. I said I love this show from day one. I was one of the fans that was like, bring Lucifer back. And so I'm happy about this. I follow pretty much all this cast on social media. And they always seem like they're having so much fun. I'm glad they're getting to Season 6. Also, the lady that plays Ella, she's so cute.
She is.
Oh my God, she is so cute. Anyway, if we ever get to do an interview with some Lucifer cast, y'all better get out of my
I'm
way.
going to faint at the feet of what is her name?
Ooh.
Demon.
Oh, you call it?
That is Leslie Ann Brandt.
I'm going to fall at her feet.
Mazikeen.
She's so pretty.
And also, please go follow her on Instagram. It is great. I love her. That's why I think I love this cast because they're so funny, and it seems like they're having fun with this show. I have a connection to this show.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Lucifer season 6. They haven't announced it yet, but most likely it's friggin' happening right now. But into another DC property that's going on Netflix.
Ooh.
So, it has been previously announced
Previously.
announced that Netflix is doing a Sandman show. We are also getting a Sandman audiobook.
Ooh.
Narrated by the one, the only Neil Gaiman.
Ooh, yes,
I mean,
please. Thank you.
Who else?
Exactly. So if you love Sandman but hate your eyes, you can absolutely listen to the audiobook. As well as listen at some point to the Netflix adaptation, which is going to take, I imagine, much, much longer to produce.
I mean, it's Neil Gaiman reading the book.
Yeah,
You
I'm
buy
still
it
probably
for
going to
that.
listen to it.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to something kind of disturbing while you sleep, about sleep, then
Oh,
here you go.
Especially the first year of the comic is deeply disturbing when it comes
It's
to sleep.
Perfect. I love
Absolutely
it.
terrifying. That's why I love it.
I don't know. I kind of want this, actually.
Do we
Right.
have a release date for the
We
audiobook?
do not have a release date. This was
Oh.
just announced.
Okay. I mean, I could just like put that on my headphones and just like fall asleep to it. Just
Yeah,
If
have
anybody's
fun.
going to read Sandman,
maybe do
bring it
maybe
on.
do some shrooms or something right before.
I mean,
Okay.
you want to do some shrooms and then listen to him describe the Corinthian? Like,
Yes.
have fun. Ugh.
Don't do that.
Who else has some TV news before I go to?
I actually have one more.
I know you do.
And this involves HBO.
Ooh.
If you liked
Oh, man.
Chernobyl and if you like heartbreaking, hopeless stories, The Last of Us is getting adapted into a TV show. Finally! Although, HBO, if you're listening, I have 6 words for you. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Millie Bobby Brown.
Ooh.
Really?
That's it. That's what I want.
That's a good. I would.
Really? For Joel?
Absolutely. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Joel. He even looks like him. He sounds like him. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Joel.
You don't think he's too old?
Joel's supposed to be in his 60s.
No. Joel's not in his 60s.
He's in his 40s in the prologue. He's in his late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
I guess I never thought about it like that.
And he just looks younger.
He's an older man.
And you don't think Millie Bobby Brown is a little over? Just, come on. Really?
No.
What about Daphne King?
She's absolutely perfect. And Millie Bobby Brown is at this point 15, 16, which is
She'd be
how
right about
old
your
Ellie
age.
is. I would also love Daphne King, but Daphne King is also kind of busy.
Oh, because of the
Right,
HBO show.
Strangers-
Also,
Stranger
Millie's
Things
going to
also.
grow up, and maybe once after we get part 2 of Last of Us, we can just move her.
Well,
into the
I mean,
live
I guess if
sequel.
you kind of think about it, Daphne King already kind of did a little bit of The Last of Us with Logan.
I would be cool. Like I don't care. I
Yeah.
would watch her do.
You know what if
Logan.
we get Hugh Jackman and Daphne King to be also in The Last of Us?
No. No.
It would just feel like a rehash when this
It would
is
feel
a
like
very
Logan.
different
No,
story,
no,
which
we
is
just-
what I like about it. It's
Just
a
minus
very
the
different
claws.
story.
Yeah. No, I know. I was just.
I'm excited for it. I love that game.
It's gonna be amazing. I could not be more
I
excited.
actually have played through that game maybe 3 times.
It is being showrun by Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl. It is
Ooh.
being written and EP'd by Neil Druckmann, who wrote and produced and I think even directed The Last of Us, the video game,
If we
Last
don't
of Us
see
and
him-
Last of Us 2. So this is very promising. All the creative people are there.
I better see him attaching scissors to something to make it tender.
My superpower is I duct
There's-
taped a bunch of knives together.
No, there was a webcomic, and he was like taping scissors, and Ellie's like, "Are you taping scissors?" I'm like, "Yeah, it makes it deadlier." Wait a second, and then he's taping it to a gun, and she's like, "Joel,"
Joel.
and then he starts taping scissors to Ellie's head.
That's what I love about the game is everything. You're like, that. I mean, I guess that makes a weapon.
The
Sure.
interrogation scene in live action, the infamous interrogation scene.
I need to
David.
rewatch that.
Ooh, who's gonna play the crazy dude? Ooh. All
Walton
right.
Goggins.
We need to stop.
Walton Goggins, though.
We need to stop.
Oh my God.
We're speculating too much for something that we're all excited for.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, just stop going gaga. We have journalists here.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, look at me just like scribbling like Charlie Day, like connecting the dots.
I love
For
that
the next
moment.
year,
Just
Who's got more television stuff before
do
we
you,
move on?
do you count?
My go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, Corey has no one. Go.
I was gonna ask if anime counted.
Absolutely.
Okay, then I have 2.
Go for it.
All right, so for all of us crazy people out there that really love Fruits Basket, I'm kidding, we're not crazy. You should watch Fruits Basket if you like cute things.
Fruits baskets.
I might be a little crazy, but Fruits Basket's really good.
It is.
The remake, we got announced for season 2. Well, I mean, we already knew it was season 2, but April 6th will be the release date for that season in Japan, and it will also be released on the Funimation app, I believe, simultaneously with Japan. So you should definitely be ready. Get that free trial while you can and watch some Fruits Basket. I highly recommend the remake. It's really good. But with some good, we also have some sad news. The background art studio, Studio Lagurus, known for their backgrounds in Ghost in the Shell, the new movie, Devilman Crybaby, Mob Psycho 100 and Mob Psycho 102, will be dissolving by June 30th.
Oh no.
They credited various circumstances for their reason for dissolving. We don't have any other information than that. I wanted to put up one of their pretty backgrounds. It's really pretty. They were founded in March of 2013, so they really weren't that old of a company, all things considered. But they will be dissolving by June 30th. Hopefully we'll get a bit more information as to why.
That sucks.
I'm really sad, honestly, because their backgrounds, especially in Devilman Crybaby, were just gonna continue with that chef kiss because it was bold.
You never like to hear about a studio in the industry shutting down. That's taking away talent, and hopefully the artists get absorbed into other studios.
Oh, I'm sure they will, especially with such big projects under their
But
belts.
still, they have those projects under their belt.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
They're known for, and it sucks that they won't be around. Anyway, yeah. Well,
I've got one, but it's kind of TV, but kind of not because it happened at a con.
bring it on.
Cool. So I'm gonna do this in the way that he does because it makes me happy.
Don't bite other people's stuff.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. If you're either deaf, dumb, or blind, or been living under a rock, you know that the Maxwell Jacob Freeman is not a character. He is the MJF. He is who he says he is. He is better than you, and you know it. So when he decided to flip off a kid at C2E2, doing a paid meet and greet, he was honestly just being the MJF. Tom Gilmartin, the dad who thought it was a good idea to bring his kid to meet the best heel in the wrestling business, said, "I tried to laugh it off, knowing he's just in character, but really, it really upset him, his son. I know that's his gimmick, but he's only." I lost my place. I know that's his gimmick, but he's only 7 and doesn't understand. He said his son is being mocked online, which that part I don't agree with. Don't mock kids online. And he wants AEW to keep their talent in check. EVP Cody Rhodes did respond with, "Disclaimer, if you have a meet and greet or inquire media-wise for MJF, you will get MJF," he said on Twitter. Talent have freedom of expression, so please don't think that anybody is going to act any different than they do on TV. But Cody Rhodes did invite the family to a future event and promised that he give the family a VIP treatment. So, great move on Cody's part. When TMZ reached out to MJF for a comment, they got a 3-word statement: "Fuck them kids." So that's MJF for you.
All right. First of all, I don't agree with this parent. Okay, as a father of 2 children, I would not take them to meet MJF, okay? Now, if MJF was walking down the street and did that to my kids, I'd stab him, okay? But I'm not going to take my 7-year-old child. Look, when he flipped, I looked at the video when he flipped off the kid. I'm like, I was not upset. I was just like, that's him. He is that classic, I am in character all the time.
Is that even a
I have
character?
flipped off a 7-year-old child? Nope. Would MJF, an over-the-top character, flip off a child? Absolutely. So therefore, I don't take my child. Look, I would not let my child watch Deadpool.
Yeah.
So there are certain things I'm putting on the parent. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they didn't like it. I thought it was funny.
I was.
I thought it was funny.
When I saw the clip, I was like, "Oh Lord!" Of course he did. And honestly, the kid's reaction to being flipped off was, I thought like the kid was, because he just kept
was grinning at the moment when it happened.
and then he goes, and he kind of like made it like over the top like expression and. Okay, cool. It's like, and the people that were there were some were laughing, some were going, "Oh no!"
He's in character. This is what he does. I'm
Did
sorry.
the kid like ask him a question or?
Nope, he didn't say. Nope, kid didn't say anything. MJ, he.
This was at a meet and greet, not
Yeah,
like a panel.
it was at a paid meet and greet. The people paid to meet MJF. I would
So the
expect.
kid just walked up and he flipped him off?
No,
No,
he walked up, he got an autograph, and he wanted a picture with MJF. So while he was taking the picture, MJF just kind of looks at him and just,
Yeah, that's...
oh, it's a dick thing to do.
No,
But-
but that's also, like, he also... It's the same as, like, John Barrowman grabbing your ass. Like,
Yeah.
Or John
That's not a
Barrowman
good example.
letting you grab his ass.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain thing in pictures.
That
This
you
is
just expect.
This is also the same MJF back at WrestleCon, because his thing is I'm better than you and you know it. This kid, and not a kid, somebody in a wheelchair rolled up to him and goes, "Oh, I'm definitely better than you. Look what I can do," and just stood up.
He is a heel, and he's playing that character.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bad
So,
guy.
look, it was wrong, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So,
He's,
I don't-
his whole character is that he's a bad person.
If anything, I would have been honored to be flipped off by MJF. I'm like, yes.
I'd go word for word with him. I'm sorry. I think you're quick with the tongue. Well, let's go. You know where the comments section is.
Cameraman, he did pin Cody.
I don't agree with it. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. One of my favorite properties is being made into a Marvel comic. Yes, Ultraman. Hold up. Is being made into a Marvel comic. I'm so damn happy. Look, y'all know, he knows me.
Yeah.
I left my house on the promise that they were doing a double feature of Ultraman at a theater right down the road.
Yep.
And, so let's see. The Rise of Ultraman #1 will be released later on this year. It is, I'm trying to get the art team on it. Let's see. It's Kyle Higgins, who was previously on the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series from Boom Studios. And Matt Groom will co-write the series, and Francesco Manna will handle the art. So it's Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom writing. Francesco Manna will handle the art. I'm so excited for this. Let me see. They revealed this at C2E2. They didn't give an exact month. That's what I was looking for. Just later on this year. I don't even expect this to go that many issues. But guess what? I'm buying Ultraman comics. Because it is classic Ultraman right there. The legend. The man. These monsters look corny as crap. They even look like people in rubber suits on the page. And I'm still in for this comic. Thank you, Marvel. And I'll be buying The Rise of Ultraman #1.
You said it is for sure coming out 2020?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, later on this year. And
It looks embarrassing.
The art looks great. It looks shiny. He's even doing the Rise animation when he grows. Like, ching, ching, ching. It was just 3 pictures.
How's it go?
They made larger. It was small. And then they went to a low camera shot. Like, I'm a small person. I don't care. I love this property.
That's how you do perspective, man.
This is why.
Just make it slightly bigger, right?
Look,
That's
I'm
what
gonna
perspective is.
I bought a Crunchyroll membership just because they play the Ultraman episodes from Japan. Like, add Super Sentai, please. But I love the corny big monsters. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You
this
like
is-
corny big monsters?
What?
Doesn't sound
Giant-
familiar.
Anyway,
Oh.
The Rise of Ultraman #1. Go buy the issues. At least give me a year of this comic, okay?
But you said this year would have an actual release date just this year, though, right?
Yeah, they just said this year. They didn't
Okay.
give a release. I was looking for a month, and they didn't have it on there. So.
Cool.
Anyway,
well, make sure you go to your local comic book stores and keep an eye out for that.
So I do have. Do we have any more stories?
No.
Okay, so my last one.
That's all the news that happened this week.
Well, there's one that's kind of up for discussion.
Ooh, okay.
Y'all might have heard about a little store called GameStop might be in a little bit of trouble right now.
Yeah.
With keeping doors open. It's no secret they are struggling. Sales are down. They are closing more and more stores. In fact, they are planning to close another 150 this year. But in the scope of it, how many GameStops do we have around here? Yeah. I have neglected to really talk about this, really go hard in on GameStop because of people I know that work there, but they don't work there anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and say they do have a plan to try to save these stores, basically a GameStop 2.0. And I don't want this company being shut down. These are people that have jobs, they make money, they have families. I don't want GameStop being closed down. Okay? They have gotten into the collectibles market. We have seen them make changes, but kind of too little too late, some would say. And maybe that model is not working. I don't want the stores going away. I don't. We all complain, like, I brought 30 games into GameStop and I was able to walk out with a pack of gum.
Yeah.
I get that. But they have released some concepts they're going to be trying in a few stores. You might even see them in the DFW area. But GameStop 2.0, they want to dramatically clean up the traditional GameStop layout and add some more community spaces. This is something that we have seen work with comic shops.
Yeah.
Like in our area where they have tabletop gaming or D&D nights or basically bringing in a social area, and that does bring in sales. And they were talking about doing something like this. Talking about making co-op areas for gaming with large couches and big TVs. Maybe a dozen game bays where visitors can sit down and play games. That's one. GameStop Social with more game bays, but these will be more for the consoles, designed for watch parties, esport tournaments, coding classes, vacation camps, birthday parties, and things like that. Another one where Retro, a new store concept built on the foundation of GameStop. Retro is specifically designed to collect the best library of pre-owned games. Displays of best modern games are supported by hundreds of classic games and consoles, as well as they're going to add gaming bays with CRT televisions, of all things. Like, those things need to be just destroyed. And GameStop Pop, which is going to be designed for more people like me, the collectors, where we can go in. They'll still have games and the couch come, but the shelves are going to be filled with more collectibles, apparel, and accessories.
All right.
I feel as though the answer to this is somewhere in the middle of all four of these.
Yeah.
This would require them to maybe have less stores but bigger spaces.
Yes.
So definitely bigger spaces.
Because I think that's one of the downfalls of GameStop is there are some that are smaller that honestly we know if we go into those, they're probably not going to have what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So we opt to go to the larger ones. So I think, in my opinion, maybe getting rid of some of those small stores, which I do see those closing.
Yeah.
And going with these larger spaces where they're able to do more like this. Because right now, in some of the spaces that they have, I do not see them adding couches and TVs and tables for co-op gaming.
The only one that I know that's probably big enough to do something like that is the one in Plano that's attached to a Barnes and Noble.
That one is a large one. And I go to that one a lot for my
collectibles. Other than that, though, I mean, the three stores in Frisco that I know of are not that big. The one in Firewheel's not that big. The one up the street from here is not that big. It's
I'm
like
a little bit nervous. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I'm a little bit nervous about them trying to take over comic book spaces because
they've stopped doing that now. They stopped selling comics.
No. I mean, in terms of tables, because a lot of comic book stores have turned to the tabletop games, and so I'm a little bit nervous of a bigger company trying to take away that from comic book stores. In Madness, a lot of different comic book stores in the area that do tabletop gaming. So that makes me a little nervous. Most of the rest of these ideas seem like a great idea, especially esports tournaments. That sounds like there's not a lot of spaces for very small esports tournaments right now. you have a couple with like Bishop Arts in Dallas. They have an esports tournament location, but then it's the more local it is, the harder it is to do because there's not really a space for that yet. And so I think that's a really good idea to have esports tournaments kind of at your local GameStop, and it kind of endears you and you see things there. So that seems like the best idea to me of those. Also making it more, collectibles, because that's worked for me. That's the only reason I go to GameStop now.
And granted, I think they really missed the mark when they upped prices on a lot of things, but I think that, that was a bad idea, and they realized it and kind of turned course on that. But I don't want these stores closing now. These people with jobs, they got families to support. No, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to keep going to the big box stores to get my games.
Yeah. So. I mean, I used to go to like the launch parties at GameStop whenever new games would come out, but
and see, they've gotten away from some of that community aspect, and I think they are trying to get a turnaround.
Yeah, like
esports tournaments is exactly where the gaming community is right now.
Cor, anything to add to that? Because we were talking about picking up games today, and
legit, GameStop, one of the ways you can improve and probably save your business is to stop overselling your pre-orders and then just canceling them. Sorry, I'm still really salty about that on behalf of the people I saw that pre-ordered like the Kingdom Hearts exclusive PlayStation or just pre-ordered games in general, and then they get an email going, hey, by the way, we oversold it, so we canceled your pre-order, and then you just got your money back.
I've had collectible orders canceled too, like that.
Yeah,
I don't like.
I've been lucky.
I don't like it.
I mean, the last time I went to a GameStop, I spent like $60, and it was all on like 80% off Overwatch merchandise.
I mean,
I got a hat. I got a couple of T-shirts. I got another hat. I got some plushie. It was great.
I would like to see them reverse course. I don't want GameStop to go away. Maybe scale back a bit.
Yeah.
But definitely not go away. Anyway, that is the end of the show. Before we close out, I do want to tell you about some cons in the area. Of course, AllCon, 4 full days, March 12th through the 5th. Go to all-con.
Do you mean the 15th?
What did I say?
12th through the 5th.
12th through the 15th.
It goes for a full
all-con.org.
3 weeks.
Go there and get your tickets online before you get to the event. $60 right now plus tax. Don't buy your tickets at the door because it'll be more expensive. But yeah, 4 days of fun. Thursday will be the free day. Please go check out AllCon. If you see us there, say hi. And the other one, and you're going to be hearing a lot about these people, Anime Frontier over in Fort Worth.
Yep.
That is May 8th through the 10th. And they've got actually animefrontier.com. If you go to their page, they actually have a free trial.
Ooh.
They're streaming some anime right now.
Ew.
I know, right? The guest list is increasing. We're hoping to have some people on from there. We're going to talk about some of the guests that are coming. But that is going to be May 8th through the 10th, 2020 over at the Fort Worth Convention Center. The guest list is growing. Ooh, some Rooster Teeth people.
The Fort Worth Convention Center?
The
so
Fort
same
Worth
one as
Convention
ACON.
Center. No,
For the last
ACON
couple of years.
No, ACON's going to be...
For the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was there before.
But yeah, the guest list is growing. Make sure you go there. The early bird ticket special is over, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I should have got in there. But there might be something coming here where you can get a little break on the price. So just make sure you keep your ears open. AnimeFrontier.com. Go there. Links, of course, will be in the description below. Anyway, guys, that has been our show. Over under of doing a show next Thursday with AllCon in town.
We'll keep y'all posted on our social medias.
We'll post some videos to our
There
social
might be
media.
some live Facebook videos, maybe.
I'll just tell you right now, I'm off.
Look for the Batman onesie.
I am.
Look for the
Me, Kat, and Bryce are all going to be wearing.
look for the Batman bathrobe.
Are y'all really gonna be doing it? Really? Onesies?
I love the onesie.
What would be the best onesie for me?
Ultraman.
Oh God, I would. Okay. Damn.
You went
Damn.
in a very different direction than me.
I would totally rock an Ultraman onesie.
Either that or Godzilla.
What's the purple My Little Pony?
Go. What?
Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Anyway, we're also
A little like unicorn.
we're also participating in the charity
little,
D&D game
like,
on
wings.
Saturday night at AllCon, 7 p.m. We are actually earning money for Extra Life. I'll have the link in the description below for the fundraiser. There's different people on the team, but I'm on the team. My goal is $100, and if you follow me on social media, I have made an agreement. If you know anything about me, I hate spam. Like,
Spam.
the thought of it is making my mouth water in not a good way.
A defense mechanism.
For every $10 that I raise, I did the math. There are 9 servings in a can of spam. For every $10 I raise, I will eat 1 serving of spam. And the person that donates, you can even pick how it's prepared.
And I will personally prepare it for Jason.
And Cora will be assisting with that. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Of course.
Is there some way to flambe spam?
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus, what?
Oh,
Also, if we go up past $100, people will feed it to me, which I just think is weird. So, yeah. Help me help children.
Have fun.
I won't.
Anything
Anyway,
else they need to know about Alcon?
that is it. Make sure you follow us at SCNS Live on Instagram and Twitter, and you can follow us personally on our pages at Jason the X on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me at someplace. Instagram, the good cast or the bad cast, depending on what quality of content you enjoy. You can find me on Twitter at the good cast, or currently at Doa Drawings with Kat, drawing absolutely horrendous cartoons of things Overwatch casters say. That handle might change soon, and we will let you know.
You can find me on Instagram at NerdyRick89, where I'm doing the 366-day challenge. Today was day 365, and today is actually World Book Day, so I posted some of my favorite books that I've read. So you can find me there on Instagram as I do this challenge again for the 2nd year in a row. And also shout out to my friend Jillian. Good luck on your CrossFit competition, which is the same weekend as Alcon.
Alright, you can find me on Instagram at Corodono. You can also find me on Twitter at CorodonoArt. I decided to change my handle to more closely reflect my other handles. And on both of those, I post artwork, though on Corodono Art, I also retweet a lot of things that are Suikoden related. So if you would like to hear me scream into the void about how great Suikoden is, you can join me there. You can also follow me on chaotic_noodle on Twitter as well if you would like to see Final Fantasy screenshots and see the results of my cry counter that I've been keeping for Shadowbringers. I'm not at the end yet, and it is at 8.
Alright, that's it. Why am I on that camera?
I'll tell you later.
Okay then. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you. We'll see you socially next week. Anyway, guys, as we always say, keep on nerding.
Learning. Point, Jason.
Point into the void, Jason.
Nope, keep pointing. Keep pointing, Jason. Smile and point, Jason.